What's up everyone, I am back from my long hibernation with the lack of videos, and I am bringing you another new video today. So today we are going to be discussing my 2 years with this beautiful car and 50,000 miles. 50,000 miles in 2 years. It's a lot of miles in a very little time, and I'm just going to tell you how it's treated me. So if any of you guys are looking to get into one of these 10th gen Civic SIs or a Civic platform from this generation, the 10th generation Civic at all, this is a great video for you. You're going to want to watch. There's going to be two sections in this video. The first section will be the good section and everything good about this car, how it's treated me thus far. Second section will be the juicy stuff. It'll be the bad. There are a couple things that really do annoy me still to this day, and we'll get into all that. So kicking off the good section here today, it's going to be the reliability, the overall reliability of this car. In my 50,000 miles of ownership, just shy of 2 years now, I've had no issues whatsoever, no major issues whatsoever. We'll get to some minor things in the bad section. The only money I've put into this car, besides my modifications, have been basic maintenance, oil changes, trans fluid, stuff like that, filters. So nothing noteworthy at all, not one issue. As I said before, there are a couple little weird quirks that this thing has, I guess minor reliability issues, if you can even call it that. I'll get into all that, so just stay tuned. Number two on the list of good things today is going to be how quick this car feels. It isn't a fast car by any stretch of the imagination. It's only 200 so horsepower. Maybe with my mods, it's at like 220 or something, very minor difference. The power that this thing makes is very accessible in the low RPMs, and the gearing is very short. So you get to shift a lot, and you get a lot of that, I don't know, your butt feels good in the seat. If you put your foot down, you'll get pushed back in your seat pretty good, especially for this little 200 horsepower. Like I said, that's a lot to do with the gearing and how soon the torque comes in, but it feels really quick. This is my only car, this is my daily, so I mean, I drive this everywhere I go all the time, and the power is always accessible, it's right there. It's a really fun car, especially in little traffic. It's great. All right, so the next thing on the list of good is going to be how comfortable this car is. When I refer to comfortable, I'm referring to everything about it is just pretty comfortable. It rides pretty smooth. There's a lot of room, front and back seats. I've had a couple friends sitting in the back quite a few times. Obviously, they wouldn't want to be back there for an hour and a half long road trip, but for anywhere around town, 30, 40 minutes, they're just fine. And it's pretty good. Kind of along the lines of the comfortable part as well is going to be the transmission with it. The clutch is quite comfortable. The shifter is really easy to use, especially in stop and go traffic. If you're kind of scared to get into a manual car, like I know a lot of people are, this is a great place to start. It's very easy. It works with you, not against you. It's a great daily car. So the fourth good thing on this list today is going to be the shifting feel of this car. The actual 6-speed in this car is fantastic. It's so notchy, it slides right into gear for you. You never really have to fight with it. I mean, it's done nothing but good things for me. Like I said before, even in daily driving, it's just very comfortable. You can just cruise with it, and then if you want to beat on it and really quick shift, it'll let you do that too. Next up is going to be how it looks. I personally think the 10th gen Civic, especially the SI and Type Rs, look really, really good. I just think these cars look incredible. Even stock, these cars look really, really good. It just sticks out just enough. It's got the wing, it's a little more aggressive. It looks really, really good. Then once you crack into the modifications of it, you can do stuff like this, where you have essentially no wheel gap, and it looks phenomenal. Like, the way it's sitting right now is so perfect. Hopefully pick it up on camera, but yeah, I just think these cars look really, really good. Put a little exhaust on there, some wheels, tires, suspension, perfect. I also think that the part accessibility for this car is up there with like the top. It's at the very, very top of the totem pole. It's just, a lot of the parts for this car are relatively cheap. These cars are really easy to work on. Everything about this car is just very modifying friendly, if that makes any sense. If you want to modify a car, this is a great place to start. Lastly, on the list of good things today is going to be how these cars sound. I will throw in a couple sound clips right here. Oh my God. Yeah, as you guys can tell, these cars can sound pretty dang good. It's not the best in the world, but for what it is, a little 1.5 liter, I think they sound absolutely incredible. Now, my setup, I do have a catted downpipe and a catback exhaust, so I have quite a bit done to the exhaust. But even when I just had my catback, it sounded pretty damn good. All right, now it's time for the juicy stuff. Now it's time for the stuff that I'm not the biggest fan of, stuff that has given me problems. First up on that list is going to be the infotainment in this car. The infotainment overall is pretty decent. It's not bad, but it's not great. The actual user interface of it and everything works good. Everything works good like that. But there's a lot of weird quirks about the infotainment that I just don't like. First thing on the list is going to be the fact that there has been numerous times now where I will get in the car, start it, I'll be driving down the road, Apple CarPlay's plugged in, and the screen will just completely go black for no reason, just black. And then I can't touch it, I can't adjust my climate controls, I cannot do anything in the infotainment. I actually have had to get out of the car, shut it off, close the door, wait a couple minutes, and then get back in, turn it back on, and then it starts working again. And that has happened numerous times now. I don't know why. I've read other people's issues on forums where they've had similar-ish issues. It's not consistent, but it does happen, and it's kind of annoying. Couple other things I don't like about the infotainment is the volume. At least in the 2017, 2018 SIs, they didn't come with a volume knob, so you have to use this weird slider thing, and it just doesn't work. I always use the steering wheel button. Also, the climate controls are built into the infotainment screen, where if I want to adjust the fan speed and where the air is coming out of, I have to actually go into the screen itself and into a menu to adjust that. So if the screen isn't working, like I said, I can't adjust my climate controls, which freaking sucks. Next thing I don't like about this car is the fact that this window right here, the passenger side front window, essentially since the day I picked the car up, just didn't work right. It's supposed to have the front two windows be automatic, where you can click the button up once and it'll roll all the way up. You can click the button down once, it'll roll all the way down. The driver's side has worked fine the whole time. The passenger side, on the other hand, I will click it up, it'll go about 3/4 up and then fall right back down. I have to hold the button to roll the window all the way up or all the way down, and I don't know why. I've literally no clue why. And that has been happening since the day I picked this car up, with about 8,000 miles on it. So that was an issue like straight from the factory, essentially. So I don't know what that was. Now, the next thing on this list, I know you can tune it out or whatever, but from a factory car, and my car, because I don't have a tune on it yet, is the Rev Hang. For those of you that don't know what Rev Hang is, it's when you put the clutch in to shift gears, the revs fall super slow. And so for it to be a nice smooth transition from, let's say, second to third gear, you have to wait quite a long time for the revs to fall, and then you can shift. You can shift through it. I do that a lot, where I'll kind of force the revs to fall just by letting my foot off the clutch, and it'll take the RPMs right down to where they need to be. But I can't imagine that's great for the clutch. The last thing on the list today is going to be the fact that this car takes forever to heat up. On a warm day like this, after about 5 minutes of idling, the temperature will rise a little bit. You'll see it in the gauge. But on a colder day, like where I am in Michigan, it gets freaking cold, a little bit of snow on the ground, oh boy, I'm sitting in my car for probably 10 minutes, just letting it idle, waiting for the temperature to start rising. There's been multiple times where I've had to go to work, and I get halfway to work, and it's finally up to operating temperature, when normally I pull out of my neighborhood and it's at operating temperature. It's like a 10-minute difference. This car just takes forever to heat up, no matter what kind of climate you're in, just compared to the normal car. I don't know why that is. Maybe it has something to do with a Honda motor, because I had an old Honda Fit, and it did the same thing. It took forever to heat up. But overall, this beautiful car has treated me very, very well, and I am extremely happy with it. If you guys are skeptical at all to pick one of these up, I encourage you to go and test drive one, feel it out, see how you like it, because I guarantee you, if you need a nice little daily or just a fun little run around town car, this car will treat you very well. I plan on being back on YouTube more consistently. Just a lot of life happens, you know, life happens, so I haven't been uploading nearly as frequently as I want to. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out, and have a good rest of your day.